Hi, welcome to today's video on basic architectural acoustics. Today we're going to talk about how to measure reverberation time, and also I'm going to show you a practical demonstration. So reverberation time, how do we measure reverberation time? So here we have shown a steady sound source, and suddenly the sound source is stopped. The time the sound takes to decay by 60 dB after the sound source is stopped is known as reverberation time. It is a very important parameter in room acoustics. It is used in many designs. There's many specifications specify the reverberation time that needs to be achieved, and so on. Now let's see how reverberation time is measured. Okay, so the two things we need for reverberation time calculation are a sound level meter or a sound analyzer, and a balloon. Okay, so now we're going to do a reverberation time test with the curtain drawn back. So let's see what the reverberation time results are. So here you can see that with the curtain drawn back, the reverberation time at 500 Hertz is 0.28 seconds. Now let's try with the curtain completely closed. Okay, so now we are going to do the reverberation time test with the curtains completely drawn out. So let's see what results we get. So now you can see the reverberation time is slightly reduced to 0.27 seconds, which is not significant at all. But usually when you close the curtains on your window, the reverberation time of your room comes down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration of how to measure reverberation time. Now you guys saw the physical measurement of reverberation time. So this is how a sound level meter would calculate the reverberation time. It does not wait for the sound to die by 60 dB. It only waits for the sound to die by 20 or 30 dB. Here we have shown the T20 method. This is where we measure the time taken by sound to decay by 20 dB, and then it is multiplied by 3 to get RT60 at that particular frequency band. In this case we have shown a steady source, but I like to use balloons, which is an impulse response. When the balloon bursts, the sound pressure level goes very high, and then it starts decaying. The sound level meter measures the decay up to 5 dB, and after that it starts measuring the decay up to 20 dB or 30 dB, depending on whether we're using the T30 method or the T20 method. Here in this diagram we are talking about the T20 method. So once we measure the time it takes for the sound to die by 20 dB, we multiply it by 3 to get RT60. So there are also two important formulae that are important in architectural acoustics. One is the Sabine formula. This is the equation for the Sabine formula. I'm not going to go into any mathematical detail here. And there's one more thing called the eyring equation or the eyring formula. So both of them are a bit similar, but they have a few differences. The difference is that eyring formula assumes a constant mean free path, and there is a stepwise energy decay. Eyring formula also assumes that there are losses due to viscous effects. Sabine's formula assumes only one energy value. This is the difference between the eyring and the Sabine formula. So this is the end of today's lecture. In the next lecture we are going to talk about room treatment and sound absorption materials. Okay, so before I end this video, I want to tell you about the two factors that determine reverberation time. The two important factors that determine reverberation time: one is the volume of the room. The greater the volume of the room, the higher the reverberation time. Reverberation time is directly proportional to the volume. Reverberation time is inversely proportional to the sound absorption in a room. So keep this in mind while designing your architectural spaces.